The other one was, kind of a sleepy fight between Devin Haney and Yuriorkis Gamboa. This was a really weird matchup. There was so much holding in this fight. The first half of the fight, it seemed like most of the holding was Haney. The second half, it seemed like more of it was Gamboa. Haney won basically every round of the fight. Maybe Gamboa won 1 round, 2 rounds. But Haney won every round. The problem is that there was so much holding and there was really, truth be told, not that much clean offense from Haney. A lot of it just came down to Gamboa just being in kind of a weird spot in his career. You could see his foot mobility is not what it used to be. I don't know if it's the injury or if it's age. To be honest with you, I'm more inclined to think that it's the injury because he hasn't taken a lot of punishment. You could see his ability to get up off his back foot is a little more limited. And so how he used to set his shots up, bouncing around the ring and being mobile and being explosive, he just doesn't have as much of that anymore. And, his hands are still pretty fast, but he can't really get in position to set it up. So there was very little landed cleanly by Gamboa because he didn't really throw that much. He had a couple of little bursts, but he was mostly inactive in the fight. And a lot of the fight was Haney working his jab for a while, and then they hold, and then they break. Maybe Haney lands a couple of good ones, and then they hold, and they break. And it was just 12 rounds of that. It was really kind of a rough fight to watch. I think that Haney's a very talented young fighter, but he's, of all of these young lightweights, like the Tank, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo, Haney, to me, he's the least developed. That's just my opinion. I think Haney is the least developed out of those guys because now you see Tank's beating an elite fighter, Leo Santa Cruz. Lopez has beaten an elite fighter, Vasily Lomachenko. It just doesn't. It seems like Haney's just kind of one step behind. Like, he's got all the things. He's got the hand speed. He's got the feet. He's got all of the stuff. I think he's going to be a great fighter, but just where he's at in his development, it seems like he's just kind of one step behind those guys, and maybe, working on his inside game a little bit. I'm not sure what he does. He's going to get better. You have to have fights like this against kind of weird, awkward veterans that know how to survive, that know how to get through rounds and kill time. So it's a tough spot for him to be in as a 21-year-old fighting this, this 38-year-old veteran that's been in there with some of the best guys in the world, and is fighting defensively. It is a tough spot to be in. He needs to step his competition up gradually the way he's doing, and he's going to learn every time. And I think he's one of those guys too, like the better the competition gets, the more it's going to bring out of him. So I look forward to seeing him. I wouldn't want to see them push him too quickly. You know what I mean? Because he's fighting fringe contenders now. And so the progression now as he goes up, the opponents are going to be very tricky.